probably know someone like this. He has brilliant ideas, big dreams, that spark in his eyes that says he was born for something amazing. He talks up incredible projects and lives on possibilities, yet nothing ever gets finished. Each failure comes with a fresh excuse. Wrong timing, wrong partner, the world just doesn't get me yet. Maybe he's that childhood friend, a younger brother, your boyfriend, even your dad. Someone who, despite his age, seems frozen in time. An adult who still acts like a kid, emotionally up and down, allergic to commitment, chasing freedom while dodging real responsibility. And part of you still hopes he'll change. Carl Jung gave this pattern a name: Puer Aeternus, the eternal boy. It's the archetype of a man who refuses to grow up, forever stuck in transition, always getting ready to live, but never actually starting. He charms with youthful energy, creativity, spontaneity, yet behind that glow lies a long, dark shadow. The eternal boy struggles with one basic truth: the real world makes demands, and he can't handle them. Deep down, he expects life to shapeshift around his wishes. He waits for someone else to solve what he refuses to face. He dreams up the perfect woman, the perfect job, the perfect life. The moment reality fails to match the fantasy, he bolts. He cuts ties, quits the plan, and circles back to another round of unfinished dreams. He tells himself he's too special to sink into the dull routine of everyday life, when in fact he's frozen by one thing: the terror of failing, of feeling disappointed, of finally growing up. If you've ever tried to help a man like this, you know how draining it is. You pour out advice he ignores, offer support he wastes, tug on someone who, if you're honest, doesn't really want to budge. Worst of all, he flips the guilt. You're the problem for asking too much, for pushing him to mature, for refusing to live in his endless land of almost. The hard truth? He's trapped. His fantasy of freedom is actually a prison built from fear and immaturity. If he never wakes up, he'll reach old age without ever having truly lived. This video isn't an attack, it's a mirror. If you're still watching, it's because you recognize a pattern. Maybe in someone close, maybe in yourself. The Puer Aeternus story doesn't have to end in stagnation, but change starts only when the truth is faced head-on. Let's talk about how that happens. The Puer Aeternus isn't just a quirky personality type. It's a deep archetype, a force in the unconscious that drives thousands of men. On the surface, it can look like charisma, spontaneity, or a free spirit vibe. But beneath that bright glow lies something far more serious: an almost instinctive refusal to grow up. Carl Jung spotted this pattern in patients and in myths across cultures. The eternal boy refuses to leave the paradise of childhood, the psychic womb of the mother where every need is met and every problem is solved for him. He lives under the spell of a glorious tomorrow that never shows up. He sees himself as the chosen one, the special son of the gods, yet in daily life, he never truly takes charge. You've witnessed it, men who hop from job to job, always hunting for something more meaningful. Guys who start projects with a burst of passion but abandon them at the first hurdle. Lovers who fall hard, then vanish when the relationship asks for real maturity. People who talk non-stop about spirituality, self-knowledge and freedom, yet can't pay a bill on time or keep a commitment past a few months. Lack of brains or talent isn't the issue. The eternal boy is often brilliant, sensitive, brimming with potential. His gift is a live wire to creativity, inspiration, imagination. That is exactly why he stays lost in the realm of ideas and dodges the weight of reality. He wants to soar without building wings, love without commitment, success without real effort. He wants all the perks of adulthood without paying the price of maturity. When the world refuses to hand over these rewards, he rebels, blaming the system, his parents, fate, anyone but himself. Jung noted that the Puer Aeternus has a broken clock inside. He is forever stuck in, not now. He waits for the perfect idea, the perfect partner, the perfect phase, living in when and never in today. In that endless waiting, he doesn't live. He merely survives, feeding on dreams that eventually turn into burdens. Yet there's another side. The pure holds a genuine power, inner youth, quicksilver imagination, an ability to reinvent life. The danger isn't that a boy lives inside the man. The danger is when that boy takes the wheel. When the eternal boy's shine fades and his shadow takes over, devastation follows. That shine is captivating. He is light, spontaneous, a poet who talks like a visionary and drifts as if untouched by time. He dodges rules, ignores labels, refuses to cling to anything. In a world choked by obligations and dull routines, it looks like freedom, and freedom is magnetic. But this freedom is a mirage. It's a costume hiding what he fears most, reality. The eternal boy is not free, he is a fugitive, running from pain, from failure, from rejection, from the grind of time itself. Every choice he avoids, every decision he delays, every responsibility he passes off becomes another brick in the prison he calls autonomy. You've seen it. He claims conventional jobs are beneath him. He was born for more. When in truth, he's terrified of routine, hierarchy, commitment. He says relationships are cages, but really he fears being truly seen, being held accountable. He rails against rules, but he's simply clueless about limits. His sold-out version of freedom is just a childish dodge from life's weight. He wants to stay forever light, forever spotless, and to do that, he must keep moving, like a balloon that never lands. Yet time doesn't pause. Reality eventually hands out bills. Jung wrote that the eternal boy floats between heaven and earth, suspended, refusing to land, refusing roots. But without roots, nothing grows. Without effort, nothing flourishes. Without pain, nothing transforms. True freedom isn't the absence of limits. It's choosing which limits you'll embrace and mastering the life that grows within them. True freedom is the power to choose, to decide, with eyes open, what truly deserves your time and effort. The Puer Aeternus never chooses, he escapes. And in every escape, he not only sabotages himself, he slowly erodes the people who try to love him. This is the dark side, the point where golden promise turns into quiet destruction. At first, everything about him feels electric. He radiates charm, sparks creativity, pulls others into his orbit. He's passionate, enthusiastic, deliciously unpredictable. But give it time and the glow dims. What looked like lightness becomes flat-out absence. What felt like sensitivity twists into mood swings. What seemed like freedom reveals itself as plain old avoidance. That's when the shadow of the eternal boy slips into view. It's subtle at first, missed deadlines, forgotten plans, a bank account in chaos, sudden changes of direction, broken promises. Each misstep is cloaked in poetic excuses. I'm not ready. I don't want to rush things. I just need more space. Underneath the poetry sits raw fear. Fear of growing up, of failing, of being judged, of being ordinary. To dodge that fear, he unconsciously wrecks anything that calls for maturity. The fallout spreads. Partners suffer the heartache of loving a man who seems brilliant at his core, yet is missing in action. He says, "I love you," then vanishes. He talks future but never lays a single brick. Family watches in frustration as talent and opportunity drip through his fingers. Friends grow weary of cheering someone stuck on endless repeat. Inspired start, abrupt stop, new dream, same collapse. Everyone feels the slow suffocation of his endless emotional adolescence, and, as with every archetype, the shadow feeds in the dark. He doesn't see the wreckage he's causing. In fact, he often decides others are the problem. He writes off the world as boring, rigid, controlling, calling anyone who's matured a traitor to real freedom. The more he voices that, the more he isolates himself, convinced he's true to his essence while actually enslaved by fear. Jung warned, "We do not become enlightened by imagining figures of light, but by making the darkness conscious." The eternal boy's darkness isn't meant to be denied. It must be faced. Carrying an inner child isn't the problem. The crisis begins when that child turns into a tyrant who blocks any chance at a grounded adult life. Why is escape so easy for him? Because he's rarely alone. Behind almost every Puer Aeternus stands a quiet force that props up the fantasy and prolongs the prison: the symbolic mother. In Jungian terms, when mother energy grows too large, it becomes the devouring great mother, one who shelters so thoroughly that she smothers. Sometimes this figure is literal, an overprotective parent who fixed every problem, cushioned every fall, never let the son struggle, and unknowingly robbed him of autonomy. Other times she's symbolic, a partner, grandmother, or any nurturing woman who steps into caretaker mode, feeding, rescuing, consoling, and, without realizing it, demanding eternal loyalty in return. The eternal boy then searches the feminine not for a partner, but for another mother, someone who understands without asking, accepts without confronting, supports without limit. Comfortable? Yes. Destructive? Absolutely. As long as he is tended, he has no need to act, decide, or grow. He stays frozen in emotional childhood, waiting for the women around him to handle the adult world he refuses to face. And the symbolic mother is trapped too. She believes she's loving, but she's fueling a psychic dependence that drains them both. Jung put it starkly. The worst tragedy is a mother who won't let the child be born. Bodies age, yet the psyche stays small, forever craving comfort instead of seeking solid ground. When the Puer Aeternus steps into romance, the pattern turns lethal. He falls hard, paints his partner into a flawless savior, and loads her with impossible hopes, expecting her to fill voids he refuses to face. The moment the bond asks for real depth, steady commitment, or any adult responsibility, he bolts. He ghosts, self-sabotages, or, worst of all, pins the blame on her. Deep down, he never wanted a partner. He wanted a mother wearing a lover's mask. Breaking this spell is brutal. It means pain, distance, the severing of an invisible cord. Yet that rupture is the first true step into adulthood. Growth hurts, but staying small hurts far more. What follows is the long road to maturity, and it always demands a toll, the price of leaving psychic childhood behind. Eventually, the disguise cracks. Unfinished dreams turn to weight, failed relationships leave bruises, and the wide highway of endless possibilities narrows into a single lane. The man still ruled by the eternal boy finally stares into the mirror and asks, "How long can I pretend I have all the time in the world?" That's the breaking point, when the ache of staying immature outgrows the fear of maturing. Anyone who imagines this shift is gentle is mistaken. Jung was blunt. Individuation, the journey of becoming one's true self, is a psychic birth, and every birth involves pain, blood, and a symbolic death. The first task is to let fantasy collapse. Life won't wait for perfect timing. No rescuer is coming. The real world isn't your enemy. It's the only arena where something solid can take shape. Growing up isn't a betrayal of your essence. It's the construction of it. And construction begins with mourning. You grieve the idealized tomorrow that never arrived, the mother-lover dream that never could, and step, finally, onto the unglamorous ground of the present. Only there can the boy hand over the keys and the man start building a life that stands. We have to mourn the dream, the golden boy we thought we'd always be, the fantasy life that never took shape, the promises that never left paper, and above all, the image of the all-protecting mother. Kill the boy doesn't mean strangling your creativity or crushing your playful soul. It means you stop using that boy as an escape hatch from adulthood. Let him stay, but place him under the command of the grown man. Maturity is construction, structure, consistency. It's saying no when running away would be simpler, showing up when freedom beckons, working with focus when inspiration is silent, staying present in love after the honeymoon haze fades. It's swapping the thrill of the new for the deep power of continuity. Here's the secret. When the pure is integrated, he doesn't vanish. He transforms. His sparkle shifts into a wellspring of creativity, vision, intuition, channeled through a steady adult psyche that can actually act in the world. That's real rebirth. The eternal boy stops fleeing reality and starts building alongside it. Yet this shift is rough. Many men reach this crossroad feeling lost and worn out. They sense childhood is over, but don't know how to seize the reins. That's why the conversation must go on. In the next segment, we'll speak directly to anyone standing at this threshold, ready to evolve, unsure how. If you're still here, something inside you knows the urgency. Maybe you see the pattern in someone else. Maybe every line felt like a mirror. No shame in that. We all carry the temptation to stay children in a world that keeps calling us to grow up. We've all ducked a responsibility, wished for a shortcut, or prayed life would cushion us before we were ready to stand up. But life doesn't wait. It demands. It tests. Sooner or later you face one fork, stay stuck in a world of grand promises, or cross the bridge into real results. That bridge appears the moment you choose to grow, not when you feel ready, not when conditions line up, when you decide with courage that running ends now. Jung warned, the person who refuses to face their own demons will bump into them on every street corner. The Puer Aeternus is one of those demons. It hides behind words like freedom, authenticity, misunderstood genius. Yet in practice, it rots your roots and blocks any solid build. It won't vanish by itself. You must see it, name it, integrate it, and then choose to rise above it. Maturity is born the instant you quit waiting for a rescuer and start rescuing yourself. Responsibility isn't a cage, it's the roadway to power. Real freedom isn't doing whatever you want, it's having enough inner structure to choose what's truly necessary. Now I want to hear from you. Which line hit hardest? Drop a comment. Writing it out often shapes what you just felt. If this sparked insight, share it with someone stuck in the same loop who may not even see it. And don't stop here. The next video completes another piece of this puzzle. Keep watching. Yes, it might sting, but it will set you free. In the end, that's all that matters. Real freedom.